So I was recently having a text conversation with a CEO that I advise, coach, consult, whatever you want to call it. And he was saying, Clint, you have so much to offer. You have to get yourself out there. And I was like, okay, but I have this responsibility. And most of you know, my full-time job is as a stay-at-home dad. And I thought, how can I combine the two? I mean, I love coaching. I do it part-time, but I can't neglect the most important responsibility that I have. And I thought to myself, okay, well, I spend a lot of time in carpool, right? I mean, I sit in carpool waiting for the teachers to come out to get my daughter for school, and then I spend time waiting for the kids to come out to pick my daughter up from school, right? Hey, Brooke, what's up, cuz? But I thought I could combine my stay-at-home dad duties and a little bit of getting myself out there like this CEO encouraged me to do by doing a little coaching in carpool. So welcome to carpool coaching. The one that's got to go to school, she had a rough night last night. She's taking a little snooze before she's got to go in. And then the younger one, well, she's doing her thing, you know? She's doing her thing. So, carpool coaching, just thoughts on life and growing toward an authentic self. Just something that I want to offer and a way to get myself out there as a coach, like that CEO encouraged me to do, and combine that with not losing the responsibility of being a stay-at-home dad. So here's what I want to offer you today. I post a lot of stuff on Instagram that is geared towards growing the coaching kind of stuff. So if you want to follow me on there, I've got the my handle in the description. But I posted something the other day that was like, well, here's the thing, right? We all fall down, fail, whatever you want to call it. And falling really isn't the issue. Failing really isn't the issue, right? It's the heights from which our false self or our ego has built up ourself that makes the fall or the failure painful, right? And so the false self, which is rooted in ego, is built on three things: what I have, what I do, and what other people think of me. And whenever we put our identity in the hands of an external source, whether that be another person or a material item, right? I drive this BMW, so that makes me X, or I live in this house and that makes me Y, or these people think I'm this, but I've got to keep up that charade, right? And that's the false self. The false self is driving that bus. And the bigger that gets, the bigger the ego gets, the bigger the false self gets. That's what makes our failures so painful. It's not the fall, right? And you know the old proverb, Chinese proverb, right? I think it's a Chinese proverb. Fall down 7, get up 8, something like that. Well, if we continue to fall down and fail in the same areas, it's because we're not paying attention to or being aware of the message or the thing that is trying to get us to grow, right? And it's typically what is our false self. Oh, Bubba. Just being a stay-at-home dad, you know? So, what are the lessons we can learn from failing? They typically point us in a direction that shows us that we've put our identity or we've put our value, our worth in an external thing rather than knowing it deep within, right? And when we're able to live authentically from our true self, that's when we honor the one who created us, right? And so I want you to think of your failures, falling down, and what you can learn from them in respect to, did I put my value or my worth in an external thing? What I do, what I have, or what somebody else thinks of me. If that is where your identity is rooted, that's a glass house. It is not going to stand long, right? I know this all too well. Several failures in my life, and it's taken me a long time to really get back to the core of who I was designed to be, right? And I think that's the work that all of us have. I think that's the work that every single one of us on this planet is put here to do, is to recover that which we were created to be. and to break down all of the things that we've built up and perceived as what makes us valuable or worthy, tear that all down. And that's kind of what God's in the business of doing, is tearing that all down and making us who he created us to be, making us whole. So, little carpool coaching, something that I'm going to be doing hopefully every morning. It'll depend on the environment inside this truck. Maybe I'll do it in the afternoon when I pick up the Munchkin. But just something new I'm doing to get myself out there and still remain true to my #1 responsibility as a stay-at-home dad. Okay, as you can hear, I gotta go. Bye.